What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So investing in 2022 has already taken years of savings from millions of Americans. Many people are simply selling stocks and selling investments as a result of what's currently going on. So I want to provide you with a warning of what is still to come and what I am currently doing during these tough times. Now, if you want to get started in investing and you don't want to invest thousands and thousands of dollars of your own hard-earned money, you don't have to. You can actually go and sign up to a free app. It's called Webull. I will actually put a link down in the description box below, and by using that link, you will get 5 free stocks valued up to $9,600. And all you gotta do is deposit any amount of money. Deposit $5, $50, $100, $100,000. It doesn't matter. It will give you 5 free stocks valued up to $9,600. And the best part is you can take these stocks, you can go and sell them, and you can trade with that money that they gave you. So it's pretty much a free investment. Now, let's get into this video. If you got questions along the way, you can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. But if you like these daily uploads, can you do me a favor? Go ahead and hit that like button. Also consider subscribing. Now, I made a video a few weeks back and I talked about how I was investing and pretty much waiting for the Federal Reserve to decide what they were going to do with interest rates, the monetary policy, and more. Now, since then, Russia has decided to invade Ukraine, and this has thrown the entire world for a loop. The US, Europe, and many other countries have imposed sanctions on Russia. And much of the world has been completely flipped over the past week. And so this is why I really want to address what I am doing. Now, I'm not going to give you financial advice. Nothing that I say here is financial advice. Make sure you go and talk to somebody that knows your financial situation, the amount of money you currently have, right? Your risk tolerance, all that stuff. I don't know it, okay? Nobody on social media would know it. So take anybody's so-called advice, tips, whatever they're giving you, take it with a grain of salt, okay? Now, what does all this mean for how am I investing in 2022? Well, it's actually quite simple. The first thing that you need to ask yourself is, inflation going to be transitory? What do you think? If you think that yes, that is the case, inflation is going to be up, but then it's slowly going to start coming down, then you might think that yes, now is a good time to start investing and getting back into the market. The next thing you need to understand is, will the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, will this drag on, or is this going to end fairly quickly? If this drags on, then honestly, I can see the Federal Reserve take this into account and slowly increase rates. And this is exactly what the stock market is already pricing in, is that interest rates will rise at 0.25 for the foreseeable future. We're not going to see a 50-point hike. It's not going to go 1 point either, right? Or 100 points either. It's not going to do that. That's at least not what the stock market is predicting. But here's where things get very tricky. If the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, if this ends very quickly, but we still see high inflation, what we could actually see is the Federal Reserve decide to change course and jack up interest rates in order to force the US into recession and push inflation down. Now, if I thought the US was going into a recession in the near future, right, in the next few months, I wouldn't be investing into the stock market, which I am. I wouldn't be investing into things like NFTs because I don't think they'd be extremely liquid. Now, they'd be more liquid than real estate, but I wouldn't be buying NFTs, which I currently am. I also wouldn't be buying cryptocurrencies, which I currently am. And also, I wouldn't be buying real estate. I wouldn't hold real estate if I think we're going into recession and prices are just going to start to fall. Now, let's talk about how I am investing in 2022. Because what I did recently, I bought into staples like Facebook, Apple, Alphabet, Disney, Tesla, and Microsoft, just to name a few, during this recent crash that we had due to the Russia invading Ukraine. This happened back on, I believe, February 24th. So I dove back into the market because if you remember a few weeks back, or actually like a month ago, maybe even longer than a month ago, I sold a lot of my stocks because I saw the writing on the wall. We were going to start hitting new lows, which we eventually did. So also on February 24th, I also picked up some of my other favorite companies like invades, Nvidia, Lennar, Etsy, even Upstart. Okay. Now, I'm not saying go and buy these companies. I'm not saying go and buy these companies right now. My investment strategy right now is very simple. I honestly only want to own companies that are profitable. I don't want to buy too many companies, too many small caps, and hold them as they could lose value very quickly in the event that we see the Fed U-turn or we see these other big issues across the world. But I will be buying and holding them after we get an idea of what the Federal Reserve is going to do after March 16th. So March 16th is really my date. I want to know what's going to happen then. Now, one of my biggest moves that I am making as of right now is I'm buying small caps right now since they're extremely volatile. Now, why is this so important? I want to be able to trade in and out of the market. Okay? I want to be able to use the cash that I have right now and go in and out of the market and leverage the amount of money that I currently have. That's my goal. Now, I've been holding some of these for not for very long, for very short amount of time. Sometimes less than a day, other times about a week. But my goal is actually to dump the stock. Okay, just get out of it. When it gets to 4% or higher, which I always set a trailing stop loss as well. Or the other thing would be if I see a 2% loss. Okay. So I don't match it 4% profit, 4% loss. I do a 4% profit, 2% loss. So I cut my losses very quickly because if I can get out of my losses very quickly, hopefully my winners will actually make me some money. Okay, that's my goal. Again, this isn't financial advice, and I highly recommend that you don't trade with any money that you can't afford to lose. And I highly recommend you seek some financial advice and financial help. Go to somebody that is local that you can sit down and talk to, and maybe they can explain some of the things that I'm saying here. But here's what I want you to know, okay? I'm not going to tell you how much money I made, okay? Because honestly, it doesn't matter. If I'm trading with $1, $100, $1,000, or $100,000 or $1 million, doesn't matter what I'm trading with. I want to explain, the return, the percentages that I made just recently, just some of my winners. Give you 3 winners and 1 of my losers, okay? And that's typical. I usually have about 3 winners and 1 to 2 losers, okay? So here's how it went just recently. I bought things like Skills. I bought it at $2.70, sold it at $3. That was about 11% return. And I wasn't sitting on this for very many days. I think it was just a couple days. Also bought a Rival. Bought it at $3.10, sold it at $3.50. That was a 13% return. Keep in mind that these companies that I'm talking to you about, these were when I bought them on February 24th. Okay? So with this recent crash, I'm still holding a lot of stocks, but these are just some of the ones that they went up and came back down and hit their mark and sold. Okay? Also bought the Honest Company. I bought it at $3.35, sold it at $3.63, made a 5% return. Okay? A little more modest, 5%. But I also had money that I lost as well. I actually bought Redfin. Bought quite a bit of Redfin as well. Redfin is a company that I do like. Maybe I didn't time it very well in this case, but I bought Redfin. Bought Redfin at $22.55. I sold it at $22.10. That was a 2% loss. Now, today it's currently under $21.50. So cutting my losses early saved me quite a bit of money on just this one particular investment. Okay? Just on this one stock. And again, this isn't financial advice, but I want to give all investors, especially beginner investors, a very, very critical warning. Okay? Just because somebody is posting a trade on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or right here on YouTube, it it doesn't mean you need to jump in on those trades, okay? Everybody has a different strategy. Everybody has different goals, and every single person out there has a different amount of money invested into the market. So don't chase what somebody else is doing. If you understand the basic principles of trading, you should be just fine. And the one piece of advice that any investor would give you, okay, any investor is going to give you, and again, go to a financial advisor. They're going to tell you probably the same thing. But again, go do your own research. Is if you can dollar cost average into the market over time, remain into the market. You don't trade it. You invest long term. And again, not financial advice, but you should be more successful. So one thing I just want to say right now, okay, is even though I personally trade almost every single day, I'm buying and selling. Even though I do that, I'm not saying everybody should, okay? What I'm saying is you should consider investing, because if we do see inflation keep rising, investing into the markets will be a very good tool for you, all right? Because if we see high inflation, you're not invested. What's going to happen is the products that you buy every single day keep going up. But if you have no money invested into the markets, you have no assets, they aren't really rising because of inflation, well, then you're just paying more for the same stuff, and yet you're not hedging it somewhere else, right? So that's just what I wanted to tell you today. I know I've been getting a lot of questions on, what are you doing? How are you investing? How are things going? So I just wanted to fill you in on that. I am up, which is great. I didn't lose as much money as I know many other people did that stayed in the market over the past month. But again, it was a very risky bet, because if we saw the market just completely run up, I would have missed out on all those gains. So just understand the bet that I made on myself and or based off my research, it was risky, but it paid off this time. All right. So if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.